Good afternoon. This is Dallas Sports 1977 coming from Midway, Florida. I just got back from Jacksonville, Florida on a tour trip where I had to take Navarre High School on the flag football championships. It was beautiful down there and everything and stuff, and I did a video while I was down there. It's a beautiful day here in Midway, Florida, at my friend's house. Classmate from my high school. My high schoolers. I'm giving congratulations to my high school, my alma mater, Wakulla War Eagles, down in Wakulla County. But the subject of the day is the Dallas Cowboys. I think we're going to do great this year. I did a video about what I expect out of the NFL this year. It's going to be 17 game schedule. I predicted what I thought the Dallas Cowboys were going to do, and every team in the NFC East was going to do. I predicted the other conferences like NFC West, South, and the AFC divisions. I really believe that there's going to be a great year this year. I'm glad Dakota Prescott is doing well right now and everything and stuff, and his training is going quite well. I mean, you see me wearing my favorite team shirt I just bought about a month ago when I was down in Boynton Beach, Florida. It's 5-time world champion, the Dallas Cowboys. It is nothing like it is. I have observed other teams and other franchises and other teams and how the fans are. We are the most loved and the most hated team in the NFL, but we have great fans, great camaraderie. The fans that love the Dallas Cowboys, when we see each other on the street, or we in different towns and stuff, and when we travel and we see each other and they be wearing Dallas Cowboys stuff, they come up to you and they talk to you and everything and ask you about the Dallas Cowboys and everything and what you know. So I don't have that much to say today and everything. It's just a wonderful, beautiful day here. And I just think for this new season that it's going to be a wonderful, a beautiful, great time for the Dallas Cowboys and our fans. It's almost been about 26 to almost 27 years since we last won a world championships, about 26, 27 years, somewhere around there. 1995 was the last time we won a championship. My predictions right now, I'm picking us to win at least 11 games. I'm going over 11 wins, and so that's what I'm expecting, 11 wins and 6 losses, somewhere around there. I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys to win the NFC East. I'm picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win the NFC South. I'm picking the Los Angeles Rams or the Seattle Seahawks to come close to almost equal either or of those teams winning the NFC West, the Los Angeles Rams or the Seattle Seahawks. I'm picking Kansas City to win the AFC West. I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens, the Pittsburgh Steelers, or the Cleveland Browns fighting for the top spot in that division. For the AFC East, that's the Buffalo Bills, the Miami Dolphins, the New York Jets, New England Patriots. In that division, well, I'm expecting great things from Buffalo, and I'm expecting great things from the Miami Dolphins. And don't count out Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, even though I don't like them, but don't count them out, because for some apparent reason they have always gotten their way into things to either prevent somebody else from winning, or they end up winning the whole thing. Tom Brady last season had left New England, and he helped the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win their first world title in quite a long time. That was their second championship they have won. Last time they won a title is when the linebacker that played at Florida State, Derrick Brooks, had played at Florida State. He wore number 10 on the national championship, 1993 national championship, Florida State Seminole teams. That's my college favorite team. But I'm expecting great things this year. I know these haters out there, the Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, ESPN analyst, NFL Network analyst, going to be shooting us down, and every time something happened with the Dallas Cowboys, we're always in the middle of it, and because we're America's team. Even the teams in our conference, the Washington Redskins, the Washington football team, the New York Giants, and the Philadelphia Eagles, their fan base hates our fan base so much in our team that they have to talk about us at all times and everything, and have our names in their mouths so where they can get recognition. But as a Dallas Cowboy fan and following this team since 1966, there's no other greater franchise that's on God's green earth that has been assembled than this one, because this one has great fans, great fan base, great following, and then it got great history, and the history began in 1960, and they started from the bottom, from nowhere, into being something special, led by the legendary great Tom Landry. And the NFL at that time didn't give them a draft. They didn't. They gave them every worst player off their team at that time. And by 1966-67 season, Dallas was already playing for conference championships against the Green Bay Packers. And the players, when they saw this great legendary coach in his office shedding tears and crying how he had failed the team as a coach, that's when they realized that it was something special and greatness was going to come with this team. And the team went from nothing to something special to amazing to awesome. And the following from that team is so remarkable and hard to explain how it is, but the team is a great franchise. We used to be called the Cinderella next year's champion, because we would lose to Green Bay twice, lost to them twice, lost to Cleveland, got destroyed by them with the great Jim Brown, and then after that they followed the map and everything and stuff, and then when they ended up in the Super Bowl VI, they played against the Baltimore Colts and should have won that game, and then they ended up losing. And when they lost that game, that's in that game where the great legendary Bob Lilly took off his helmet and threw it, I said about 30, 40 yards in the air, and it landed, and another player from the other team came and said, "Here, Mr. Lilly, here's your helmet." And he felt, I was watching either a segment on, if it wasn't 30 for 30, it was a segment about the Dallas Cowboys. NFL Films was filming how great how this team was started, and so, and in that statement, he felt that he shouldn't have never done it because it brought bad bliss against the Dallas Cowboys. But he was the very first number one pick and the very first Hall of Famer for the Dallas Cowboys. And he is considered as one of the greatest defensive tackles to ever live. And so this team has been blessed with greatness, with special players, unique people from all around, from the beginning to now where it is right now. We done had some great coaches. We done had some average coaches. We done had some of the greatest players to ever been assembled on God's earth. Don Meredith, Bullet Bob Hayes, Lance Allworth, Jethro Pugh, Roger Staubach, Too Tall Jones, Harvey Martin, Randy White, Billy Joe Dupree, Tony Dorsett, Herschel Walker, Drew Pearson. I can go on and on. to this day and time. We done had great ones like Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Deion Sanders, Troy Aikman, and now in this new era that we live in now, we being assembled with other great ones. I do believe the quarterback we got right now, Dakota Prescott, he will be a great one day. He has the tools, he has the understanding, the knowledge, and the leadership qualities to be something great, to be special, to lead this team to get us to another world championship. One day, I would like to see us get us another championship before the Heavenly Father called me home to be with Him. But until then, I'm going to still give my report about the Dallas Cowboys and tell you how I feel and everything, and what to expect from this team. Even though I get a lot of flack from other fans and people come on my channel and say negative things about the team or about the players and everything, we do got a great rapport for as receivers is concerned. At first, when the draft we just recently had, I wasn't happy, but now I'm kind of like in between, like 60-40, much more towards being a defensive unit that need work. So that last season was one of the worst seasons in Dallas Cowboy history, and so this team needs rebuilding, and we got a new defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, from the Atlanta Falcons, and he used to be the defensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. And so what I'm saying that for is that this team has some ingredients to be a great franchise again. I feel that that the front office need to get it together. Our owner, Jerry Wayne Jones and Stephen Jones, step back and allow and give coaches Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn to do something great. But last season, the offense was carrying the team, in which I don't think that's a great idea. The defense need to be carrying the team. If you fans that don't understand defense or understand how great Dallas used to be in the 70s and 60s, if you look it up on YouTube or Google, you'll find out that the Dallas Cowboys were powerful. By 1966-67 season, they had the first original Doomsday defense. Then the second one was Doomsday 2 that won the World Championship in Super Bowl 12 down in New Orleans, Louisiana. And co-MVPs, Randy White and Harvey Martin, was co-MVPs in that game, which Dallas forced 8 turnovers. And so for them to force 8 turnovers, that shows how great this team was and how great the defense was. That season, the Dallas Cowboys was one of the very first team to have the #1 ranked offense and the #1 ranked defense to win a world championship. Despite how great in that era the Pittsburgh Steelers were powerful, which they were, and the Miami Dolphins were powerful. The Washington Redskins were pretty good. They were great. The Los Angeles Rams were great. The Purple People Eaters, which is the Minnesota Vikings, they were powerful. And so back then, the teams were so, even the average teams were so powerful in those eras that you can basically on your hand, on your fingers, and show that you can basically pick who's going to get to the Super Bowl or get to the championship. But because the way the NFL has done things now, they have changed with this new free agency and draft and everything, and they don't want teams to be stockpiling great players on their teams and getting all the great players and then keeping them away from the average teams. And so where about 5 or 6 teams, 10 teams are dominating the league, and the other 20 teams, 21 teams are not doing anything. So that's how it is right now. But that's how it was back in the 60s. So I was just giving you a little story of how great our Dallas Cowboys was back then. They and during that time, they had the rivalry they had against the Washington Redskins was like a high school rivalry. It was unbelievable. It was phenomenal. During that time, I was in high school at that time. In 1977 is when they won their second Super Bowl. But they had went to the Super Bowl 2 years before that when they played the Pittsburgh Steelers in Super Bowl 10. down in University of Miami Hurricane Stadium, which is the Orange Bowl. It's not there anymore. They tore it down. But Dallas should have won that game, but because of bad, I would feel bad officiating by the NFL officials made some serious bad calls against Benny Barnes when he was covering the great Lynn Swann that played out of USC, wide receiver, and he was an analyst too. Lynn Swann pushed off, as you can see clearly if you look at the video, he pushed off and his legs got tangled up. And because of their legs got tangled up, they called pass interference against the defense. And even though Lynn Swann still caught the pass and everything, you can see clearly Lynn pushed and went into him and pushed him and took his left arm and pushed to get leverage and pushed Benny Barnes away from him. And then their legs got tangled up. And then a few plays later, Pittsburgh scored a touchdown, won the game. The game ended 17-21. And then 2 years later, they met again in Super Bowl 13, which was a classic, played in the same identical stadium down in Miami, Florida, in the Orange Bowl. And in this game, Dallas had just came off a world championship. It was considered as one of the greatest Super Bowls ever was. It was called the Super Bowl of Champions. Dallas being a great offense the year before when they won Super Bowl 12 against Denver Broncos, the Orange Crush defense. And then the next year they played Pittsburgh again. And the game ended up being a shootout. And in this game, in this great shootout, late in the third quarter, Roger Staubach found tight end Jackie Smith wide open on a crossing route at the post. He was so wide open, I could have thrown the pass. He was that open. And he was facing Roger, and it wasn't a linebacker or safety within maybe 10 yards, it wasn't even 10 or 12 yards of him. He was so wide open. It's just like the door just opened so wide open, and it was just it was unbelievable how open he was. And then the NFL films was showing the film, like the players on the sideline of the Dallas Cowboys they was upset. Danny White himself, he turned away with his face in his hands. He knew then that Dallas not scoring a touchdown, they had to settle for a field goal, that they was in trouble. Well, when Dallas gave the ball back to Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh got they kicked out to Pittsburgh, and the great Franco Harris broke loose on I think it was a 32-yard run up the middle on a trap play, and he scored, and then that broke the game open. But because how the game was broken open is that one of the possession before that, Dallas had the ball. Pittsburgh kicked off to Dallas, and the special team coach Mike Ditka, that used to play for the Chicago Bears and play for the Dallas Cowboys, put Randy White on kickoff special team, and he had just had hand surgery on his hand and had some kind of, back then you wore a glove, you wore arm pads and pads on your hands and arms and stuff, and his hands was taped up. He fumbled on the play, and Pittsburgh recovered. And about 3 or 4 plays later, the great Franco Harris broke loose on a trap play up the middle, and the game was broken open. But then when Dallas got the ball back, they scored 2 straight times, and the game ended 31-35, being considered as one of the greatest championships to ever been played. And if young people don't believe me, look at the film. You can see what it is to be great. And the Dallas Cowboys is about greatness. And so this is about the end of the story that I'm about to finish, and about telling you about that, is that how great this story is, that our beloved Dallas Cowboys we have, this fan base is amazing, and the people are amazing. I just want to tell all the Dallas Cowboy fans all over the world, you be blessed and be thankful how great that the Heavenly Father that has given us to go out and enjoy life and be thankful in this great time right now. Even though it's time of COVID, but it's a great time. So I was telling y'all young fans, telling you a little bit of the history and story of the Dallas Cowboys, how great this franchise is. I believe greatness is going to happen sometime soon, and it might happen this year. I gave you my predictions for the NFL. This is Dallas Sports 1977, coming from Midway, Florida. You be blessed and be thankful. Have a great day.